So you're looking to automate your team invites for meetings, whether if this is for a specific team, whether if it's for all of your team, this automation will work no matter what. Now, I'm going to guess your current process looks something like this. You go to your calendar. We have this test set up for later, but you go to your calendar, you go to, I don't know, next week, you then input, let's say, investors meeting. You then add a Google conference and you go to your guest list and you have to add every single email into this list every single time. And unless this repeats, you have to do that every time. You then have to repeat this process, wasting more time, more effort. And eventually, I'm not going to lie, you're going to get really pissed off of this because it's a tedious task and you feel like it could be repeated. Well, we're going to automate that today. Save yourself some time and some effort. So what we need to do first off, we need to set up our Google Calendar accordingly. So I'll just go through this document first and then we'll go through it. So you need to create a new calendar for your team meetings. So at the bottom, you need to select other calendars and create a new calendar. From here, you need to name it accordingly. And as you'll see, my example is WebTrick Ads Team Meetings, and give it a description. And that's all you need to do. So if we go to Google Calendar, let me move this to the side. So as you see, other calendars, create new calendar. You can call this whatever you want. You could call it X, Y, Z. You could call it, for example, investors. You can call it anything as long as it is valid to whatever you're referring to. One we're going to be using today is WebTrick Ads Team Meetings because that's my one for my business. That's all you need to do for setting up Google. It's as quick as that. Done in like 30 seconds. From here, we get onto the actual automation side. So I use Zapier. If you don't use Zapier, this will still work as long as it's integrated with your appropriate calendar of choice. That's all you need. So with Zapier, what we're going to do, we're going to create a new Zap or a new workflow, as others will call it. And what we're looking to do is to set up the trigger to be related to our Google Calendar to send an invite. So remember, for automations, it comprises of a trigger and an action. The trigger, of course, being what causes the workflow to begin, and the action is what do we want to happen afterwards. In this case, we're looking to find when these meetings actually arise, and we want to invite everyone in our team to it. So let's just go to Zapier now very quickly. So if we go create new Zap. Now, Zapier does offer AI. I do go through that in my PDF, basically where you can actually outline into the AI what you'd like. So let's say set up Google Calendar team invites. It'll then give you a rough idea of what it thinks is the appropriate workflow. So as you can see here, new event in Google, create detailed event in Google Calendar. That's not exactly what we want, but this trigger is what we want actually. We're not going to use it because sometimes it doesn't give you what we want. So we're going to do it manually. So first off, Google Calendar trigger is new events. Connect your account, easy. Choose calendar. This is where we select our calendar that we were referring to earlier. So make sure this app is specifically for this event. So you can make this according to any one of your team meetings, whether it's investors, if it's actual, let's say, end of day report meetings, whatever you need, create a different app for it, makes things easy. So we have our test and it's under WebTrick Ads. So I found it. Continue with selected record. Make sure you guys have a selected record as test data, or if you already have one set up in the future, you at least have that one to work by. That way, when we go to the next stages, it makes everything so much easier. So next, we need to select Find Event in Google Calendar. Of course, that. Select your calendar. This is actually quite an easy process, guys. This is why we're running through it quite quickly. And what you need to do, you need to scroll down under the New Event in Google Calendar option until you find ID. This ID will basically say every time that this new event is created under the team name or the Google Calendar name, this ID is unique to it. It'll then recognize it and save it to this automation essentially. Literally nothing else needs to be done. Just test a step. Failed to find an event, skip test. Don't worry guys, as long as you have one in there, should be fine. I'll show you afterwards it does work because I have one set up as well. Then what you need to do, you need to, add attendees to events. So quite simply, again, choose the actual group And what you want to do is select the data. So for this one, it's the test event. Or, sorry, no, that's wrong. Sorry. You want to select from here. Sorry, I remember what I did wrong. No, what you want to select is the action. Sorry, the search term isn't the ID. Sorry. The search term is the organizer display name. So Webtrick adds team meetings. Then from there, we'll test it one more time. You'll see it'll work this time. There we go. It worked this time. Now for this one, this is where I got messed up. You then want this to be, for Find Event Calendar, the ID. This is where you want the ID, not the other one. From here, you just type in your emails that you want. As you can see, if it's one, just type the email, otherwise put commas in between. And that's all you need to do to set up your auto invite for Google Calendar events for certain teams. So as long as you have the ID set up, as long as you have the Google Calendar set up, and you have Zapier set up, or whatever automation software you use, Make.com, GHL, whatever, you'll be able to automate team invites. Every time you create an event in your calendar, it will then send these invites. I'll just show you guys my one. So as you can see here, it's all set up. It's just waiting now for an event to come through essentially, but it's all set up and that's all you need to do. So if we look through the document, so test trigger, add event, this complete PDF runs through it one more time. I've run through it right now, but this is a PDF for you guys to save. And it also should help you guys understand how automations will work. You just need a trigger and an action. You'll have several different actions after some triggers. You can actually link them to different softwares, whatever you need. That is the gist of setting up an auto invite calendar event for certain types of events. So for example, if you wanted different types of events, you refer back to step one, and you just create more, and you just repeat this all over again for the different events. I hope that helps, guys, and I'll speak to you guys later.